Today I'm going to show you how I make cinnamon rolls in my bread maker. And this is just something, this is a family recipe that I got from my mom, and my grandma used to use this, and now I use it. And when bread makers were created about 20 years ago, my mom and I kind of changed around a recipe to fit to get the most dough out of one bread maker recipe. So this is how I do it. How you'll put your ingredients in may vary a little bit depending on your bread maker. I probably wouldn't do this without a bread maker, so I'm just going to go with it assuming that you've got a bread maker. So we start with just a little bit slight of 1 tablespoon of yeast, because my bread maker has you put in dry ingredients first. And then we put in 4 heaping cups of flour. 1, if your bread maker has a rectangular pan, you might also just be sure whenever you get it started that all the flour gets mixed in, because sometimes the square or the rectangular pans don't work as well for mixing as the round ones do. So then we'll have 1/3 cup of sugar. We are going to do an overflowing teaspoon of salt. We've got 2 eggs. A 1/3 cup of oil, and then 1 cup of milk and half a cup of water. So we put that all in, and then we're just going to put it in our bread maker. And then what you're going to want to do is read the instructions for your bread maker and then put it on the dough setting. It usually takes about 1.5 hours to get the dough ready. So it mixes it up, it lets it rest, it mixes it some more, and then it will beep. Okay, so it's been about 1.5 hours, and our dough is looking good. Oh, okay, so you pull it out of the bread maker. You had it on dough mode, so it has not cooked at all. What you want to do, you want to have really clean hands and a clean surface, and you just put a little flour out so it doesn't stick. Dump this. And if the dough is a little sticky, which this one turned out pretty sticky, very sticky. You might want to make those 4 cups of flour very heaping. So I'm just going to pull out the extra. Oh, this is a mess. But this makes the best rolls, so this is good. So making sure we have plenty of flour. We're going to form this into a rectangle. I'm going to add some flour because it definitely can take it. Now, depending on what size you want your cinnamon rolls to be, will determine how you roll this out. Because if you want the big jumbo ones, you want to do like 1 short side and 1 long, and then roll it the way of the long side. This, we're just going to do kind of a medium cinnamon roll, not tiny and not super large. So we're going to roll that out. You want to get it thin enough to where it'll roll up pretty good. If it's really thick, it can only roll around a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. So we're going to get that rolled out, and then we've got some melted butter. And typically for a recipe this size, I'll use about 8 tablespoons. Wait, no, wait. This is 3 tablespoons. I have multiple recipes going here, but we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, and then spread it around. Get it. You don't want it really thick and runny because then when you cut the cinnamon rolls, the butter will run everywhere. But you want it to cover it so that it will be moist. All right. Okay, hands are washed. And what I've got here, I've used an old ground cinnamon container, and I've just gone ahead and done my cinnamon and sugar together, and that is posted with the recipe. I can't remember exactly what the specifications were for the ratio, but we're sprinkling just enough cinnamon sugar to cover. And if I wanted jumbo cinnamon rolls, I would roll it from this side to this. But because I just want medium, I'm gonna go roll long ways. You just start rolling. All along the way. If you get to some clumpy flour, you take that off, and then you just pinch it. Turn this. Kind of squishing this up because it's small on this end. Try to make it somewhat uniform. And then I've got fishing line. So I'm just going to take my fishing line, go underneath, cut about a 1/2 inch. Every 1/2 inch, I'm going to cut, which I can turn this around for you to see. We can either let them rise a little bit, or if you like a little bit heavier of a roll, you can put them right into the oven. And I bake mine at 360 degrees. My oven runs a little on the cool side, so you could do 350 or 360, and I go from about 12 minutes to sometimes 14, just want it a little bit golden on the top and a little bit golden on the bottom. Okay, so the timer just went off. Sometimes the first batch takes a little bit longer. This is about what we're looking for. We want something that's a little golden on top, and then see how it's golden on the bottom there. So we'll let those cool, and in the meantime we can start making our powdered sugar drizzle icing. Now there is no rhyme or reason. I'm not a professional baker. None of this is just all from personal experience of having done this. So I don't have a recipe for this, but I just put in like 1/2 bag of powdered sugar, and then I just add enough milk to get it to where it makes a nice drizzle. So when you're first starting out, you want to be careful not to add too much, because it's very easy to add too much, and then you have to add more sugar, and then it can get a little out of hand. So I'm just going to stir this. Looks like I'm going to need some more milk, but I want to stir it real good to make sure. Add a little bit more. Not adding a lot, like maybe a tablespoon or at a time. So you can see it's starting to get and when it falls off, maybe just a little bit quicker than that. Barely gonna add a teeny bit more. That's about what you want. So if you wanted to be really good about it, you could sift the flour or sift the powdered sugar and all that. I just usually throw it in there to be quick. Just put the amount of milk to make whatever it takes to make it about this consistency. And then once these cool, we'll drizzle it over and then we'll eat. Okay, so we've got the icing to a good consistency and our rolls have cooled a bit. And basically it's just a fun little drizzle that we're gonna just kind of go all over it, trying to kind of make sure you go down on the sides and get a little bit of icing on everything. Evenings like tonight, where I'm making a big batch, sometimes I might just go ahead, serve it up for dinner alongside some sausage, got some eggs, skillet of eggs, and some fresh oranges off the tree. So I hope you enjoy your cinnamon roll baking experience. So now I'm going to show you how to roll it out if you want to make jumbo cinnamon rolls. So the main thing is you want to get it really long because you're going to roll, you want it to be formed long and not real wide. Again, getting it to maybe 1/4 of an inch at least, or thinner. A little bit of width. Then working on our length again. This recipe will make probably 6 really nice jumbo cinnamon rolls. All right. So we'll put our 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And then we'll get our cinnamon sugar, just covering it. Really does help to have things made up ahead of time, like to have a big batch of cinnamon sugar if you're making a bunch. And if you wanted to add some pecans, you could add some pecans on one side. Okay, and this time we're rolling from the short end because we want a big, big roll. Taking the excess flour off. Pinch it. Then my lovely assistant, Mariama, is going to come help me. You've washed your hands, right? She's going to wash your hands real quick. And then just pinch them off the same way. You can go ahead, put them on the pan. You can put these on the pan. You can hold the pan if you want. So actually, I didn't end up making these as jumbo as I thought I was, but so we've got 6, 7 jumbo cinnamon rolls with one little extra for the cook or the cook's husband. That's what you do with those end pieces, although that's not a small end piece. Oh, you want to?
And make sure you spread them out.
Yes, spread them out, maybe even a little farther from the edge of the pan. Good deal. All right, so there you have it, the jumbo rolls. Now we'll let them rise, even more jumbo. Okay, so we let our jumbo cinnamon rolls rise and then we bake them. Sometimes they take a little bit longer for the jumbo ones because you want to make sure that they get cooked fully the whole way through. So sometimes they might take more like 15, 16 minutes. What I love to do is to use these little gift boxes that you can find. Like I found these at the dollar store. There's 2 in a pack, or I found these with 3 in a pack at Big Lots. And they make great gifts to be able to set up and put one jumbo cinnamon roll in. So I like to tape the sides a little bit to make them sturdy. Just tape it to make it reinforced. So I've got my box, and then a nice cinnamon roll fits right in there. And then I like to not worry about this top part until I get it iced. So I'm going to drizzle all in the top. So it's good and ready. So then I'm going to just go ahead and open this up. And got the nice little viewer from the top. And then they have these stickers inside the pack. You can just seal it down. Our final product. We're just going to put our stickers on, maybe a bow on top, but it makes a great gift So I hope you have fun making these, and thanks so much for watching. BrennaStull.com. If you want to check out my blog, BrennaStull.com/blog.